Hello and welcome to another video on GCSE Italian. Let's get right into it. Section A, questions and answers in English. Answer all questions in the spaces provided. Question number 1 is taken from an extract from a novel. It reads, read this extract from L'Amica Geniale, in which Rino has a conversation with the writer about his mother. Write T if the statement is true, F if the statement is false, and T if the statement is not in the text. Stamattina Rino mi ha telefonato, non per chiedere soldi, come al solito, ma per un'altra ragione. Sua madre non si trovava più. Da quando? Da 2 settimane. Dopo aver aspettato 15 giorni, aveva finalmente chiesto a tutti, aveva fatto il giro degli ospedali, era anche andato alla polizia. Niente, sua madre non era da nessuna parte. Che figlio! Un uomo grosso, sui 40 anni, pigro e egoista, mai lavorato in vita sua, mi sono immaginata con quanta cura avesse fatto le ricerche. Nessuna. Era senza cervello e a cuore aveva soltanto se stesso. Non è che sta a casa tua? Rino mi ha chiesto all'improvviso. Adapted from L'Amica Geniale by Elena Ferrante. Now let's look at the questions. The first question is, Rino is calling the writer to ask for money. True or false? Well, it says here, this morning Rino called me non per chiedere soldi, okay? So non per chiedere soldi, okay? So he wasn't calling to ask for money. So Rino is calling the writer to ask for money. That is false. Number 2, Rino's mother cannot be found. That's true. In fact, in the text, it says sua madre non si trovava più. Okay, his mom couldn't be found. Number 3, Rino last saw his mother at his house. If you take a look at the text, you'll see that it's not mentioned at all. So that would be NT, not in the text. Number 4, Rino is a young boy. That is false. It tells us that he's a man. Okay? 40 years of age. Question number 5. The writer of the text thinks Rino is hardworking. That is false. If you go back to the text, he tells us that, I'm just going to change the color, that he is lazy. Pigro. Pigro. So, lazy. Okay? Number 6, Rino wonders if his mother is at home with the writer of the text. That is true. It says in the text, well, Rino asks the writer, non è che sta a casa tua? Couldn't she be at your house? Last question, number 7. The writer is an old lady. Again, this is not mentioned in the text at all. Question number 2, we have a questionnaire. An Italian friend, Tommaso, has completed this questionnaire about internet habits. Look at the answers he has circled. Questionario, adolescenti e tecnologie digitali. Quante volte nell'ultimo mese ti è accaduto di? Okay, so the questionnaire is about adolescents and digital technology, and it says how many times in the last month has this happened to you. The example says rimanere sveglio su internet fino a tardi, and he replies qualche volta. Okay, so sveglio means to be awake, okay, to stay awake. So he's been asked if it has ever happened for him to stay awake on the internet until late, and he answers sometimes. Okay, so if we look at the example then, so which is this. So how do you know from this answer that there are problems with Tommaso's internet use because he says he has sometimes been staying up late on the internet. Okay, so let's go to question one. Question one is, what problem is mentioned in answer one? Rimanere online invece di studiare. So, staying online instead of studying. He replies again, qualche volta, sometimes. So, number one is he has stayed online instead of studying. Question number two. According to answer two, how has using his computer affected his social life? Question two reads, scegliere di rimanere online invece di uscire con gli amici. So, choosing to stay online instead of going out with his friends, going out with friends. The answer is spesso, spesso, so that's often. He has often stayed online instead of going out with his friends. Question number three. What does answer three tell you about how he's spending his leisure time? Annoiarti senza internet. Okay, so getting bored without the internet. He answers often. So he says he is bored without the internet. Question number four. What does he admit to doing in his answer to question four? Question 4 reads, cercare di nascondere ai genitori il tempo trascorso online. Okay, so trying to hide the how much time spent online to his parents. He answers often. So what does he admit to doing? He admits to hiding the amount of time or how much time spent online. Okay, to his parents. Well, sorry, from his parents. Question number 5. Why would you be worried by his answer to question 5? Let's take a look. Question 5 reads, provare senza riuscirci a ridurre la quantità di tempo trascorso online. He answers qualche volta, so sometimes. So he says that he has tried unsuccessfully to reduce the quantity or the amount of time spent online. He has tried unsuccessfully to reduce the amount of time spent online. Okay, let's move on to question 3. Question 3 is about healthy living. It says you read this article in an Italian newspaper. Nuovo decreto del Ministero della Sanità. Mentre si aspettano ancora le nuove regole antidroga, da martedì è entrata in vigore la nuova legge antifumo. Nel nostro paese ci sono più di 10 milioni di fumatori, il 60% dei quali sono uomini. Secondo il Ministero della Sanità, il 25% dei morti annualmente ha tra i 25 e i 55 anni. Tra chi cerca di smettere, solo il 25% riesce a smettere definitivamente. Ecco alcune delle nuove norme in vigore. Niente più sigarette in macchina alla presenza di minori o donne incinte, anche a motore spento. Divieto di fumare all'esterno degli ospedali. Non sarà più possibile comprare pacchetti da 10 sigarette considerati più accessibili ai giovani in quanto meno cari. Write the correct letter in each box. Okay, so we've got question 1. The recently approved law targets A. Drug takers, B. Smokers, C. Smokers and drug takers. Well, let's see. So, keyword antidroga, antifumo. Okay, so law against drugs, law against smoking. However, it tells us that they are still waiting for the law against drugs. Okay, so right now, the recently approved law targets smokers. Okay, so that's B. Number 2, according to the text, the majority of Italian smokers are men, women, young people. In the text, it says that in our country, there are more than 10 million smokers. 60% are men. Okay, so 60% are men. So according to the text, the majority of Italian smokers are men. Question number 3. According to the text, most people who try to give up smoking fail, feel better as a result, succeed. Let's see. It says there that among those who try to stop, only 25% is able to successfully stop. So only 25%. So most people who try to give up smoking fail. Question number 4. Now you cannot buy cigarettes if you are under 25, smoke near hospitals, smoke on your own in your car. So if we are looking at the new law, it says that you cannot smoke cigarettes in the car when minors or pregnant women are present. You cannot smoke outside hospitals, and you can no longer buy a pack of cigarettes because it's more accessible to young ones because they're cheaper. So we've got smoking near hospitals. So A is incorrect. C is incorrect. So it's definitely B. Question number 5. In particular, the new law is trying to protect children and pregnant women, non-smokers, old people. Definitely A. So that's it. Question number 4 is about sport. It says, read these comments from a magazine article where young people talk about their attitude to sport. Let's read about Alessandra. Vedo lo sport come un'occasione ottima per conoscere nuova gente. E poi, del calcio mi piace il fatto che è democratico. Può giocarci chiunque, alti e bassi, maschi e femmine, colti e ignoranti, ricchi o poveri, il calcio è per tutti, secondo me. Bruno. Lo sport che ho praticato più a lungo è stata la pallacanestro. Ho giocato per 5 anni, solo che poi la squadra si è sciolta e da allora in poi non ho più potuto continuare, purtroppo. Carla. Devo dire che lo sport non fa per me. Proprio non è nel mio DNA. Il nuoto ti porta via ore, la corsa pure mi annoia e non fa così bene come dicono. E inoltre è solitaria. Per me lo sport non ha nessun lato positivo. Davide says, fin da bambino alla domanda qual è il tuo sport preferito, non ho mai saputo rispondere. Questo perché, anche se ho provato molti sport, non sono mai riuscito a trovarne uno nel quale sono abbastanza bravo. Mi piace guardare le partite, ma devo confessare che non sono sportivo. Punto e basta. Write A for Alessandra, B for Bruno, C for Carla, D for Davide. Write the correct letter in each box. Number 1. Who has tried lots of different sports? It is Davide, because Davide says that since he was a child, whenever someone asks him what is your favorite sport, he has never known how to answer them, and this is because ho provato molti sport. Okay, so this is the keyword, molti. So that is Davide. We're going to do 2 and 3 together. 2 is who thinks they are not good at sports, and 3 is who is not interested in sport. If we're looking at Carla, what Carla says, she says that sport is not in her DNA. Okay, sport is not in her DNA. Davide says, non sono sportivo. Okay, and also when he tells us that he has tried a lot of sport, he says that he has never been able to find one in which he's quite good at. Okay, so let's go back to the questions. Who thinks they're not good at sport? That is Davide again. Who is not interested in sport? That's Carla, because she says it's not in her DNA. Okay, so question 4 and 5. Who is sad not to be able to do sport at the moment? Who thinks that sport is great for socializing? So Alessandra tells us that sport is an occasion, a good occasion to know new people. Okay, so Alessandra thinks it's good for socializing. Okay, and Bruno tells us that he has played basketball for a long time, so 5 years. However, he's unable to play at the moment because the team has dissolved. Okay. So, who is sad? Bruno. Who thinks that sport is great for socializing? Alessandra. Number 5 is about tourism. Read this review of a hotel on www.eat.alberghi.com. Complete the text using words in the list. Write the correct letter in each box. Soggiorno molto molto piacevole. Scrivo questa recensione con grande entusiasmo perché abbiamo scoperto per puro caso l'albergo Camilleri a Trapani. Before reading the rest of the paragraph, I'm going to go through the options. The options are era, ero, piaciuto, piaciuta, piaciuti, stata, stato, trascorso. Okay? So this pair means was. This means liked. This means was as well. And this means spent. Okay then, so the paragraph reads: Abbiamo una settimana meravigliosa in questo hotel a 4 stelle. Okay? We, a wonderful week in this four-star hotel. Okay, so we spent, so that's H. È un'esperienza fantastica. It, a fantastic experience, okay? It was a fantastic experience. So that is stata because esperienza ends with a, fantastica ends with a, okay? So that is F. Con un personale cortese e una camera spaziosa e pulita, tutto ci è tantissimo. Okay, so here it's saying that the personnel at the hotel was very polite and the room was spacious and clean. We liked everything, okay? Tutto ci è piaciuto tantissimo, okay? So tutto ends with O, so definitely piaciuto, so that's C. Inoltre la cucina ottima e varia, con deliziosi piatti tipici siciliani, okay? So, furthermore, the kitchen, well, here it actually means the food. So the food was good, that's what it means, was, okay? So that is A. Question 6 is about volunteering. You read an extract from an article about volunteering. Volontario turisti, il lato negativo del volontarismo. Un fenomeno in rapida crescita tra chi cerca l'avventura all'estero è il cosiddetto volontarismo, un'esperienza che combina viaggio e volontariato che cresce di anno in anno tra i giovani del nostro paese. In realtà, buona parte di questi viaggi di volontariato non offrono benefici reali, anzi hanno un impatto negativo sullo sviluppo locale. Ad esempio, l'impiego di giovani disposti a lavorare gratis nelle scuole, eccetera, può svantaggiare i lavoratori locali. In più, la partenza dei volontari dell'orfanotrofio dopo poche settimane per tornare nel proprio paese non fa altro che aumentare il trauma dei bambini abbandonati. Già esistono moltissime opportunità per rendersi utili nella propria comunità d'origine. Allora perché si deve trasformare l'esperienza altruistica del volontariato solo in un post per Instagram? Ok? So we're now going to answer the questions in English. Let's look at the questions. Question number 1 is, what is the appeal of volunteerism? Okay, let's see. So if you're looking at this first paragraph, it says it's an experience. So volunteerismo is an experience that combines traveling and volunteering. Okay, so you can say that the appeal is the fact that it involves traveling abroad while volunteering, or you could say something like it offers adventures as well as doing voluntary work. It combines volunteering and traveling. Number 2, give one problem that volunteerism causes. Let's see. Here on the second paragraph, it tells us that it has a negative impact on the local development. Okay. Also, it says that volunteers work for free. So, l'impiego di giovani disposti a lavorare gratis. So, they work for free. So, because they work for free, there are fewer paid jobs. So, the answer to question number 2 is we could say it has a negative impact on local development. Question number 3. What does the author think is a better way to help the less fortunate? According to the writer, there are lots of ways that you can make yourself useful in your own community. So, a better way to help the less fortunate is to volunteer in one's own community. Question number 7 has to do with environmental issues. You read this article in a blog. Let's read about Luisa. Dopo un paio di anni di dieta vegetariana, a Capodanno ho deciso di rinunciare completamente ai prodotti animali. Sapevi che la produzione di manzo è responsabile del 18% delle emissioni mondiali di gas serra? Dobbiamo tutti fare del nostro meglio per proteggere l'ambiente. Ok, let's read about Paolo. Per quanto mi riguarda, anche se generalmente non sono prodotti bio, cerco sempre di comprare la frutta dal fruttivendolo, risparmiando così l'imballaggio che viene adoperato per confezionare gli alimenti al supermercato. Secondo i dati di Plastics Europe, il 39,7% della domanda di plastica totale è destinata agli imballaggi. Incredibile, no? Let's read about Giacomo. Ora ci penso sempre 2 volte prima di stampare qualsiasi cosa, chiedendomi se sia indispensabile o no. Perché faccio così? Per non fare come molti italiani che consumano in media 200 kg di carta all'anno, uno spreco enorme. Answer the questions in English. Question number 1. What change has Louisa made this year? Okay, so what change? Let's see. So Louisa tells us that she has decided to completely give up all animal products. Giving up all animal products. Number 2. How exactly does Louisa believe her actions help the environment? So here she talks about how the production of beef is responsible for 18% of greenhouse emissions. Okay, so cut down on greenhouse gases. Question number 3. What exactly does Paolo do to help the environment? Okay, so what does he do to help the environment? So here, Paolo tells us that he buys fruit from the fruit vendor and not from the supermarket, because in that way he's saving on the packaging. Okay, so he buys fruits without the packaging. Question number 4. How has Giacomo changed his behavior to help the environment? Okay, so what changes has he made? Here he tells us that he keeps printing out to a minimum. Okay, so he has cut down on printed documents, or that he thinks twice before printing something. He thinks twice before printing something off. Okay, so we are now in section B. Gigi Mie in cappotto pesante quella mattina, con il collo tirato su e rinvoltato con cura fin sotto il naso. Un paio di grossi guanti alle mani, aspettava sul lungotevere dei Mellini il tram per Portapia, che doveva lasciarlo, come tutti i giorni, in via Pastrengo, davanti alla Corte dei Conti, dove era impiegato in ufficio da diversi anni. È noto a tutti ormai che i tram non passano mai quando sono aspettati. Piuttosto si fermano a mezza via per interruzione di corrente. Quella mattina intanto tirava un vento freddissimo e Gigi Miepi stava ai piedi guardando il gelo sulla riva del fiume. Okay, so you can see here that pesante has been translated for you. Okay, so that is pesante and pestava I piedi. Okay, to stamp your feet. Let's look at the questions. So number 1 wants to know what the character was doing. Okay, so Gigi Mie va. Is he going shopping? Is he going to work? Is he going on holiday? Let's find out. So in the text, it tells us that he was waiting. So aspettava, he was waiting for the tram, okay, that would leave him in front of Corte dei Conti, where he was an employee. Okay, so Gigi Mia was going to work. Question number 2 wants to know when he takes the tram. Okay, is it every day? Is it once a month? Or was it the first time he was taking the tram? So if we are reading this bit again from the text, if he tells us that he's waiting for the tram to leave him, come tutti I giorni, like every day, okay, then definitely it's every day that he takes the tram. Okay, so ogni giorno. Number 3, oggi nella storia. Okay, so here they want to know what the weather is like. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it sunny? On the last paragraph, the author tells us that there was a cold wind. Okay, un vento freddissimo. So the answer to question 3 is fa freddo. Okay, it was cold. Question number 4, il tram è. So they want to know if the tram is early, on time, or late. Let's see. On the second paragraph, it says that everyone knows. Okay, so everyone knows that trams never arrive when they're expected. So definitely the tram is late. So il tram è in ritardo, late. Question number 9 has to do with cinema. It says, leggi queste notizie nel giornale. Quest'autunno il MUDEC presenterà la mostra Disney, l'arte di raccontare, per ragazzi di tutte le età. Vacanze senza genitori. 2 ragazze si incontrano in un campo estivo e insieme decidono di divertirsi senza genitori. Film comico. Dune. Presto al cinema arriverà il nuovo adattamento di Dune, fantascienza. Onward. Più di 800.000 italiani hanno visto questo film la settimana scorsa. Film d'animazione. I film o gli eventi si riferiscono al passato, a ora o al futuro. Okay? So they want to know if we are looking at these newspaper article, they want to know if the films or the events that are being referred to are in the past, in the present, or in the future. Okay? So these are the names of the film: Onward, Dune, Vacanze senza genitori, and La Mostra Disney. Okay? So it says write P for the past, O for present, F for future. Okay, so let's look at La Mostra Disney. So keyword here, I'm going to use a different pen. Keyword here is this autumn. Okay, so it's in the future. This autumn il MUDEC presenterà. This autumn MUDEC is going to present. Okay, so it's in the future. So Mostra Disney is in the future. Let's look at number 2, Vacanze senza genitori. It says that 2 girls meet in a summer camp and they decide to have fun without their parents. So keyword is to meet and to decide. Okay, so that is in the present tense. So it's going to be O. So that's present. Number 3, June. Let's see if it's in the future, present, or past. So keyword is arriverà. Okay, so Dune is coming soon to cinemas. So Dune is in the future. Lastly, we have onward. So more than 800,000 Italians have seen, so that is the key word, have seen or saw this film last week. Okay, these are the two keywords, last week and saw. So past. Past. Question number 10. Una festa italiana. Leggi questo articolo in una rivista italiana. Il Ferragosto. Tanti italiani non vedono l'ora che arrivi il 15 agosto. Perché? Per trascorrere la giornata in compagnia con familiari o amici celebrando il Ferragosto. Il 15 agosto, sotto gli alberi o sulla spiaggia, è un'opportunità per stare un po' insieme all'aria aperta, con pranzo al sacco, picnic o grigliate. Il Ferragosto è una festa nazionale italiana dal significato religioso. Ma sapevi che la parola Ferragosto deriva dall'antico Ferie Augusti? Era una festività che si celebrava nell'antica Roma, che solitamente consisteva nella corsa di cavalli e altri animali. Adesso è piuttosto un'occasione per stare insieme e magari vedere i fuochi d'artificio che si fanno in molte località. La festa originariamente cadeva il 1 agosto, ma fu poi spostata per coincidere con la festa religiosa dell'Assunzione di Maria. Ok, so let's look at the question. Secondo l'articolo, quali 4 frasi sono corrette? Okay, so according to the article, which 4 phrases or sentences are correct? Scrivi le lettere giuste nelle caselle. Okay, write the correct letters in the boxes. Before looking at the options, just so you know what this text is about, it's talking about Ferragosto. Okay, so Ferragosto is a national holiday in Italy that is celebrated on the 15th of August. Okay, it's the feast of the Assumption, the day when Catholics believe that Virgin Mary ascended to heaven. So let's look at the options then. So they want to know what kind of festivity is Ferragosto. Okay, so A says celebrata in tutto il mondo, so celebrated all over the world. Con origini antiche, okay, so it has ancient origins. Importante per gli animali, it's important for animals. Quando molti preferiscono rimanere a casa, people prefer to stay at home. Quando non si deve lavorare, when you don't have to work. Quando si può stare con altra gente, when you can stay with other people. Recente, so they want to know if Ferragosto is a recent festival. Okay. Trascorsa all'aria aperta. Okay, so if you spend it outdoors. So we're just going to cross out the ones that we know for sure that are incorrect. Okay, so it says it's celebrated all over the world. Obviously, it's not because it's an Italian festival. Con origini antiche. Well, here on the third paragraph, it tells us that it was a festivity that was celebrated in ancient Rome. So we know B is one of the correct answers, okay, with ancient origins. So C talks about the festivity being important for animals. Well, there is mention of animals in the text, but it doesn't say anything about it being important for animals. If we are looking at the third paragraph still, it mentions horses and other animals. Okay, it says that in ancient Rome, the festivity usually consisted of horse riding. D says people prefer to stay at home. That's not true because it says that it's an occasion, okay, to see the fireworks. Also, if you're looking at the second paragraph, it talks about it being an opportunity to spend time together outdoor. Okay, all'aria aperta, outdoor. Talks about picnic as well. Option E, you don't have to work. That's true. I'm just going to put back B there. You don't have to work. That's true because it's a festivity, it's a national holiday. F says you can spend time with people. That's true because we talked about picnic and doing outdoor activities and going to see fireworks. It says that it's a recent festivity. We know that that's not true because it was celebrated in ancient Rome. So what's left out is H. Okay, it says that the festivity is celebrated outdoors. It's true. Question number 11. Cosa fare dopo il liceo? Leggi un articolo in una rivista. Scrivi V se è vero, F se è falso e M se non è menzionata nel testo. Okay, so we're reading a magazine article and it's about what you want to do after high school. So write V if it's true, F if it's false, and NM if it's not mentioned in the text. Let's read. Tanti ragazzi italiani non sanno cosa fare dopo il liceo e pochi conoscono tutte le possibilità che esistono per i giovani. Tra le varie cose che puoi fare, passare un anno sabbatico. Potresti migliorare la tua conoscenza di una lingua straniera seguendo un corso di lingua nella tua città o all'estero. Sicuramente dedicarti ad altro, imparare cose nuove e scoprire nuovi lati di te stesso ti aiuterà a capire davvero cosa fare dopo il liceo. Spesso è necessario prenderti una pausa dallo studio e schiarirti le idee. Vuoi continuare gli studi ma sei indeciso su quale strada intraprendere e non sai a che corso di laurea iscriverti? Potresti chiedere agli studenti universitari la loro opinione sulla loro esperienza accademica tramite Facebook o simili. Un'altra possibilità tra le cose da fare dopo il liceo è cercare un primo lavoro. Che si tratti di lavorare in un ristorante, un negozio, un'azienda o in qualsiasi altro settore, lavorare è certamente un modo di guadagnarti un po' di indipendenza economica e personale. So, question number one. Molti alunni al liceo hanno già deciso cosa fare nel futuro. Okay? So, question number one is saying that a lot of students in high school have already decided what to do in the future. That's false because the first paragraph says that a lot of students do not know what to do after high school. Okay, so ragazzi means boys or boys and girls. Okay, but in this case, it's talking about high school. So ragazzi means students in this case. You can translate it into students. So number one is false. Number two, è essenziale ascoltare i consigli dei genitori. It's important to listen to your parents' advice. Well, in the text, there is no mention of that. Okay, so if you're looking at the text, you will notice that there is no mention of parents, okay, genitori. It's not mentioned. So, N, M. Number three, l'unico modo per imparare una lingua è studiare all'estero. The only way to learn a language is to study abroad. Well, going by logic, that is definitely false. So, in the second paragraph, it says that you can improve your knowledge of a language by following a course in your city or abroad. Question number four. È una buona idea chiedere l'opinione di altri giovani. So it means it's a good idea to ask for the opinion of other young people, which is true because, again, going by logic. So on the fourth paragraph, it says that if you are indecisive on what to do after college, you could ask other students, okay, other university students for their opinion. So question number four was true. Number five, essere pagato per il proprio lavoro è una cosa positiva, which means being paid for your work or being paid for your job is a very positive thing. Definitely it's positive, okay, because you can use your money for something meaningful. So that's true. So on the last paragraph, it says that you can work in a restaurant, in a shop, okay, in a company, okay, or in any other sector, and working is a way of gaining a bit of financial and personal independence. Okay, personal and financial independence. So 5 was true. And lastly, it says, molti ragazzi decidono di fare del volontariato all'estero, which means a lot of boys, a lot of young people, a lot of boys and girls decide to do volunteering abroad. Let's see. We've gone through what each paragraph talks about, except for this paragraph, which has to do with getting to know yourself. So, not mentioned. So, we're now on section C, where we have our translation into English. That's question 12. Your sister received this WhatsApp message from an Italian friend and asked you to translate it into English for her. Da 5 anni abito in un paese dove non c'è niente da fare. Purtroppo non vado d'accordo con mia madre. Allora, la settimana scorsa, ho deciso che presto dovrò partire per un futuro migliore. Non ho ancora deciso cosa fare, ma cercherò un lavoro all'estero e probabilmente non tornerò mai più qui. Okay? So, let's translate this first sentence. So, da 5 anni abito in un paese. I have been living in a small town for 5 years. Dove non c'è niente da fare. Where there is nothing to do. Purtroppo non vado d'accordo con mia madre. Unfortunately, I do not get along with my mum. Okay, or I do not get on with my mum or mother. Ok? Allora, la settimana scorsa ho deciso therefore last week I decided che presto dovrò partire. Ok? That's soon. I will have to leave per un futuro migliore, for a better future. Non ho ancora deciso cosa farò. I haven't yet decided what to do. Ma cercherò un lavoro all'estero. But I'll look for a job abroad. E probabilmente non tornerò mai più qui. Okay? And I'll probably never come back here. That's it. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I hope you found it useful. If you want to learn more about GCSE Italian, make sure to subscribe to my channel now. Not later, not tomorrow, now.